Mr. Pierce. Like, let's say an agent made $70,000 a year.
Right.
Like, you probably need some paper, like, on this, but like, if they didn't do an S Corp, how much would they pay in taxes?
This is on $70,000.
Yeah.
Would be about 10,700, 10,500, right about that. That's the taxes, additional taxes you'd owe.
Like, I'm talking about like for without the S Corp.
That's without
Without the S Corp.
that's additional taxes.
Okay. So 10,000. And now with the S Corp.
Of course, it'd be reduced by 10,000. Your taxes, $70,000. Let's go back. Let's say $70,000 and your tax rate is 15%, income tax rate. And then you add 15.3%. So you're talking about 30%. And 70,000, not being a 1120S, your taxes should be around 21,000.
Okay. So your taxes at 70,000 would be 21,000. Does everyone get that? Can I get like an amen or sign something like yes? Like, good. Sam, I'll give my, like, look at Sam knowing how to use freaking Zoom. He gave a thumbs up. Good. So you guys get it on 70,000, you'd be paying $21,000 in taxes. Did everyone get that? Okay. Now, Mr. Pierce, if they do an S Corp, how much would they be paying in taxes?
They'd be paying about 10.5. They'd be about half that.
So with an S Corp, instead of 21,000, you'd be now paying 10,000. So you just saved how much, Herman? Half, right?
Correct.
All right, let's do 50,000. Let's just go down to like 50,000 here.
15,000.
So 50.
That's
So
without being SMB.
so at 50,000, check this guys out. At 50,000, okay? At 50,000. At 50,000, you'd be paying 15,000. You should be paying 15,000 in taxes, okay? With an S Corp, how much are you going to be paying? Katie. We'll pick a little bit on Katie. She's like the moderator there.
It'd be half.
It'd be half. So you'd be paying $7,500. Who doesn't want to, who's so rich here, they don't want to save $7,500? I mean, like, that's a lot of money, right? So does everybody understand how that works? So what happens with an S Corp, Mr. Pierce, correct me? I should call you the Grand Ninja of Accounting. Can I give you a new title?
No, that'd be fine.
Okay, the Grand Samurai.
That sounds good.
Yeah, Grand Ninja of Accounting. So so basically what happens, Mr. Pierce is with me. So basically what happens, guys, is you go ahead and you pay yourself like you come to Mr. Pierce or someone else, but like I said, he's the Luke Skywalker of this whole thing. But you go to him and you ask him to set up an S Corp for you. It's not very expensive. Like you guys can talk about pricing. Maybe he gives us a little company discount after, I don't know. But you go and set up. So what's going to happen is you're going to pay yourself a small monthly salary every month, okay? Let's say it's like $2,000. And what happens is, so let's just say you got $24,000, right? You're paying yourself $24,000 a year, right, Herman?
Correct.
Yeah, you don't have to pay any self-employment taxes on anything above that. So if you bring in $70,000, now you don't have to pay. What's 70,000 minus 70,000 minus 24 is what? 56,000?
Something like that,
Yeah. Wait. No, it's not 50. It's 46.
51?
yeah. What was the
What-
figures again?
Wait, 70,000 minus 24.
46.
46.
Right.
Yeah, 46. Thank you, Ronnie. So 46. So what happens, an additional 46,000, you don't have to pay any self-employment taxes on it. Isn't that huge? Can I get a little man here,
Deal.
people? I need some people to get excited here.
That's a big deal.
That's huge, Alex. Yay.
That's good. Good. I need guys. I mean, 70, dude, I mean, let's think about it. On 50,000, $7,500 means what? Like, man, you could take that amazing vacation with your wife. You can like put a down payment on an investment property. You can like and then think about it, guys. And everyone here is going to be like what? Like a millionaire agent. So we have some people in this call making like 100 or 150,000. So let's say like let's bring it up to 150,000, Mr. Pierce.
Well, it's a little harder to figure because it maxes, your Social Security maxes out.
Yeah.
At about 130 something. And of course, you'd probably be easier to do the 130,000. But
Let's see how much you save on 130.
130,000. 39,000. Save 19.5. 39,000, save 19.5.
So
Now, let me just
Yeah.
just say a little bit more. Nothing's ever quite as simple as we're making it. When you flow over from your 1120S, say 78,000 or whatever, 130,000 or whatever it is. There's a law that came in when Trump came in with the new tax law, the 199A law, and it's still in effect. You get a reduction of 20% of that. That we don't have nothing to do with, but you do get that. So if you got 130,000, you get that under that new law, you get to reduce it by 26,000. So now you're down to a little over 100,000. But that's just part of it. And then when you put it on your personal return, it also you have adjusted gross or gross income, but you get your standard deductions and a couple of things like that. If you got children, you get your credits. That has to be figured in there too. But basically what we said is 15% is what you save. But I didn't want to make it sound like that's all there is to it, because there's a little more to it than that. But the 15% is real.
okay, so that's good. But I want to give like another shout out to Mr. Pierce, because we had like this guy is so awesome. Yvette asked me, and he's real humble. Ask me, Yvette, unmute yourself for a second. Okay, there you go. So Mr. Pierce, so you can see how much money you'd save with him, but I gotta get started because the first thing that happened after we had like this big victory, Mr. Pierce was like this, Alex, don't go posting this on Facebook. This is a couple months ago. But what happened was like the IRS went after me for like one of my LLCs, okay? Herman, this is a good story. We can talk about this. The IRS went after me for one of my, like, I have different LLCs, so they went after me, one of my LLCs. And they said I owed like an additional like $18,000. And so we're talking to the IRS lady. It took like 3 or 4 months. We're talking to the IRS lady, and she's like, man, this is so crazy actually, because you actually should owe a lot more than 18,000. You should really be owing like an additional 30,000. So she was real aggressive, blah, blah, blah. She's like, man, this is so crazy. They got this all wrong. Anyways, Herman, afterwards, everything was said and done. Guess how much I had to pay the IRS?
0.
Now, it was like $5,500. Like,
That's good.
That's pretty cool.
like,
pretty cool.
was that?
Yes, that would with the appeal.
Yeah, we took it to like an appeal and we settled it. It was like, so Mr. Pierce has that whole Matlock. You guys ever watch Matlock? Who's
Yeah.
too young to watch
Yes.
Matlock?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got that whole Matlock country lawyer thing on, but like he's like really good at it. So Allie, you missed this. You need to do this. Well, I don't know how you're gonna do this, but Mr. Pierce was just talking about if you set up an S Corp and you make just on $50,000, you'd save $7,500 on money and taxes. So does like All right, now we've been talking a lot, and I want you guys to have some good questions for us on this.
I have a question. Is it profitable to do this with the S Corp if you're not making more than 50,000 a year?
At what point does it become unprofitable?
Is that your question, when it becomes not profitable? You can set it up on any amount you make it. Now, just keep in mind, if you make a, and we hadn't talked about any expenses, but if you got $50,000, you got expenses. So your profit's not going to be 50,000. I think what we was thinking about, you making more than 50, and when you got your expenses, all your expenses out is $50,000. If you wasn't planning on making very much a year, you're not putting that much time into it, I wouldn't do it. It's just an extra return you got to file. I can't tell you the amounts. I don't know. I wouldn't know the dollar amounts, but I'd be thinking about $20,000 to $25,000. I don't think I'd do it if that was
Okay.
a profit.
Now, my
Is that-
next question is, you said that we can form the LLC and then get taxed as the S Corp. So
Well,
would
you wouldn't be taxed as an S Corp. You'd elect to be an S Corp. And then you'd be taxed on your personal return, not the S Corp.
So what he's saying is when you create your LLC,
Right.
you choose on the LLC the option to be an S Corp.
That's right.
Okay.
You have to make that election. You get your LLC through the state of Georgia, or whatever state it is, but you get it through the state, and then from there, if you want to be a subchapter S, there's a form 2553, just fill out. It's not that complicated. Send it in. Takes the IRS a little while to get it. Say if you go in and you say I want it to, you can elect it back as far as 45 days. But if you want to start June the 1st, you put on there June the 1st, send it in. It's all up to the IRS, but they normally accept what you request.
Okay, so hold
But it
on.
just takes a couple months, but do it. But you can still be operating with it as an S Corp while you're doing that.
We're going to give Mr. Pierce's phone number here in a little bit, but let's break this down to like baby steps. So the first thing you need to do is set up your LLC, Yvette, and like that's really easy to do. Like I can show you how to do it. You don't need a lawyer for that. Like that is extremely super easy to do. You set up your LLC. Now the next thing, and I'm talking a little bit like I know what I'm talking about, but I'm not know what I'm talking about. But anyways, the second thing is, if I remember correctly, what's the government always concerned about? How they're going to get the money from you, right? So that's why in your LLC, you got to choose like how you're going to get taxed on this thing. So then in an LLC, if you come talk to me and then whatever you want to do, let's say you want to be an S Corp. So you're going to go ahead and check off, you're going to be an S Corp. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to make an appointment and come down to Mr. Pierce. And then he'll like, once she comes down to you, how do you set up the S Corp for her? What do you do for her, Mr. Pierce?
We just do the 2553. And if this makes you feel any better, we don't charge for that because we're not attorneys. We helping you do it. But it's a simple thing. We just print it. We get the information, print all the information on it. Take 15 minutes, send it to IRS.
Man, so
That's it.
you'll help them set up an S Corp for free?
Yeah.
Dude, guys, can I get like a shout out here? That's pretty amazing, people.
Thank you.
Like, dude, he's gonna set you. Yeah, he's gonna help you set up an S Corp for free. Dude,
Yeah, it's something you could do yourself, but I'll help you with it. It won't take a few minutes, and if I'm not available at time, Stephanie will help you with it. She knows how to do it. It's real, very simple,
yeah,
very simple.
good.
I'm guessing you go to attorney, you're talking about $1,500.
Yeah. No, you know what?
Yes. Now, we're not attorneys. Yeah, so we're not practicing law. We just help you do it.
Yeah, but he's like I said, like Hey, you know what's awesome too? My favorite thing about Mr. Pierce, like he's not like a good self-promoter, so I like to self-promote for him. Is like if you ever get into like any like tax issue, I've heard the conversation before. I actually have it recorded, which I'm not supposed to have it recorded. You're not supposed to record the conversation when you're doing like an appeals process. But basically, you know, most of these RS agents think that you're dealing with like they're dealing with like Joe Schmo that doesn't even is not even an accountant or anything. Well, then here comes Mr. Pierce is like and then they'll say this is I can't believe they even say this. They sound like the FBI. They're like, this is Special Agent 15021. And then Mr. Pierce is like, oh, great. I was Special Agent 1556123 in charge of Columbus. How's your day going? And then like, oh, so now they know they're already talking to like someone like their equal, which makes it, so don't feel bad about him like setting up your escort for you because he did it for us. And we saved a lot of money and we're very happy with it. All right, next question. Jim Lester, you always have questions. Like,
I got a question.
yes, ma'am.
Will it affect your social security if there's anything left in the future?
Well, the less you pay with Social Security, the less you go on the draw. Now, that's the way, that's the way it's set up.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, of course, everybody's got their own opinion. And I think there's always going to be something as long as we got a country. So I wouldn't want to get out of the system myself, and I don't think anybody really should. But, you can reduce what you pay in yearly and still have Social Security.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And then let's get another question, guys. I mean, guys, think about how much money we're giving. Like you could be using $7,500 to help grow your business. You can be using for for marketing, to buy leads, do your car. If you're making like 100K, then you start saving a lot of money at that point, right, Mr. Pierce?
That's right.
Like then we're talking about you saving $20,000-$30,000 a year, which is huge. Does anyone have like some more? Joe knows all about this. I want Joe to ask him a question.
Not so much as a question, but I mean a statement. I'll tell you on the mortgage side, qualifying a borrower with an 1120S or a 1065, which is a partnership, very similar to the 1120S structure. It's so much easy because, what I'm mainly looking at is at that point in time, you become the W-2 employee that owns the company that paid you. So it becomes a much easier process. Mortgage qualification, use that W-2 income instead of using your Schedule C and P&Ls and all that. And so I'm going to use that W-2 income. And then on top of that W-2 income, I've seen different strategies. There's different tax strategies. Some borrowers, I see they maximize their W-2 income from their corporation and just get a really tiny K-1 distribution at the end of the year, the leftover profits in the business. And then I've seen it the alternative, much like you were talking about earlier, sir, where, much smaller W-2, maybe $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year, and then taking a larger K-1 distribution at the end of the year based on the profitability of the business. But from a qualification standpoint, it is much easier to get a individual who is an owner of a corporation or a partnership qualified versus a regular Schedule C, sole proprietor LLC.
Oh my God, dude, that's awesome. Did you get?
Let me admit something. I've got a few people in not real estate, but they got the 1120Ss and they got a K1 to get salary just like you're talking about, and they have large amounts withheld, so they don't have to make estimates or don't have to worry about tax at the end of the year. They take it out of the W-2. Now, and you did mention the partnership, and the partnership don't save you any money because that flows through. If it's self-employment income on a partnership, it's self-employment income. The 1120S is the one that saves you that part of it. But everything you said sounded good to me.
All right. So Joe said something very important, and I want you, like, guys, to think about what that's huge. I didn't even know that. Thank you, Joe, for that. Yvette, what should be your goal? I haven't had this conversation with you yet, but what should be your goal every year? Kind of, I'm being like not real estate. You know, we're a real estate company. Where the majority of millionaires in this country made in? Real estate, right?
Oh, okay,
And
yes.
so you should be buying like one investment property every year or every other year. Why? Because you're in the market. That's where you make the most money. Can someone, all right, I'm gonna go on a little tour. Can someone tell me why the majority of like millionaires are in real estate? There are 3 reasons.
The tax write-off.
Yeah, that's one of them. So let's say you bought something today for $100,000. Okay. I want you guys to draw a chart real quickly. I want people to write this down. Draw a chart. Right. You bought something for 100,000 today. Just write it, like, write down a bet. You got it written down?
Yes.
Now, okay. Now let's say you owned it for 20 years. So 20 years later. So you should have like a line with 2 things like this. Okay. So what happens is, like, the first year you bought that for 100,000. Real estate usually doubles on average every 16 years. Okay. So near 20, put down that thing's worth 200,000 now. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Now you're renting it for $1,000. Okay. Today.
okay,
Now year 20, you're renting it for 2,000. So put that there.
okay,
And then for each year, write off like $3,000 in taxes, which is your like maintenance. You're deducting $3,000 in taxes every year.
mm-hmm.
So just look at that. That's an amazing investment. So
Appreciation.
yeah. So what Joe just told you also is that it's much easier for you to buy a property as an S Corp, which is huge. Herman, ask me why. Because because this is so crazy, but when you're like a sole proprietor, like Joe's talking about, so this is good, man. I feel like I'm on CNBC, man. I got my mojo on. All right, so check this out. What happens, what Joe just wants in an ideal world, he just wants cookie cutter loans. Why? Because all those loans get sold on Wall Street, okay? They all get sold on Wall Street. So what happens with, they all get sold on Wall Street. So when he sells those loans on Wall Street, they hate sole proprietorships. They hate those with a passion because they think it's like some kind of scam. They just hate it. That's why it's a lot harder. So I have friends, for example, Angelica's an owner now, but when she wasn't an owner, it was easier for her as an employee to get a loan than for me, the owner.
Mm.
Pretty hard for a self-employed person to
Yeah.
get along.
Yeah.
From my experience, because we get a lot of requests from clients, from people as the mortgage companies and
Yeah.
all. And sometimes you wonder if they really know what they're asking for. And then I wonder if they really understand what they're getting. And a lot of these things, they want them every year, want a tax return. And I haven't figured out yet exactly why they want that. I think it's more of a protection for themselves because everything has happened over the years. But there's also another thing, at 1120S, you could do this with the individual too, but you could if you wanted to, you could set up your retirement through there. And of course, if I did a retirement through something like that, I would do and I forgot what the one's called, but you can put in up to about $50,000 and get a deduction for it. But your income determines how much you put in.
Good.
Yeah. let's see, oh, the, oh, I forgot what I was gonna say on that. Just go ahead.
No, we're good. So guys, there's like, Mr. Pierce will help you. This is a Century 21 discount right now. I feel like I'm at an infomercial. Today, if you call him, he'll help you. Not today, but like he probably doesn't want he'll set up that S Corp for you for free. Okay? Him and Stephanie, his right hand assistant. And that's a Century 21 kind of discount we got. Not discount, because you don't even have to pay anything. Century 21 feature. So what's a good number? Does anyone have any more questions? Not.
Got a comment. I mean, if he's setting up for free, you still got dues. I mean, fees that you got to pay up front to the state though to set it up, right?
I think you do with the LLC.
Yeah, right.
You don't have any dues with the 1120S. You elect that.
Right.
Yeah. And in Georgia, you could owe some, and I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't think you would. You may owe some when you file a tax return. It'd be a minimum amount, $200-300 most.
Yeah, you got. I think
federal,
it's about
you wouldn't know
$285 a year or two. You know, so.
Hey, and let me tell you guys, to set up an LLC is like super easy. Like, Katie, ask me what the first step is. I want to pick on someone here, like one of these like secret faces. We got some secret agents here, Mr. Pierce. We can't see they can't see their faces. Let me see. Carrie, are you there, Carrie?
I'm here.
Okay, good. Can we see your beautiful face, Carrie, or not? Look at his handsome face. There you go. All right, there you go. So the first step, if you want to set up an LLC is huge too, guys. Why do you want to set up an LLC?
Why do I want to?
Yeah, and it's so easy. Well, let me tell you how to set one up first. All right, check this out. Ask me what the first step is.
You got to reserve the name, right?
Yeah, exactly. Look at that. Look at the big brain on Carrie. You go to just Secretary of State and you see if your name is like available. So what you want to do is you go there on the little site. It's really user friendly, and I'm going to search for is Big Poppy Real Estate available. Okay, Big Poppy Real Estate is available. So that's good. So then the second step is then you just buy that name, which is like I think it's like $125 for like 4 years, and that's it. Like you don't have to send them. Now you need to have like an LLC. You can print one off and keep it for yourself, like the basics of it. But you just keep that to the side. The state, you never send anything to the state about your LLC. You just keep.
I think you have to renew it every year.
You have to renew it, but you don't have to send them like the incorporation or the documents and that kind of stuff. So it's super easy. But what does the LLC do? Not only does it help you with save you a lot of money because that's the first step for the S Corp, but it keeps a lot of liability off you. So if you're driving around Herman and there's lots of ambulance chasers and you run over someone's duck or something and they decide to sue you for $100,000, they can't go after the equity in your house or anything anymore. They can just go with what's in your little LLC, which is not very much.
And the only thing about that is you have to keep everything completely separated.
Can you get a little closer?
What's that,
Can Mr.
Herman?
Pierce get a little closer?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If he's talking about the limited liability, and I don't know how much they are on the LLC. They are some, but you have to keep everything completely separated. You can't mix your personal with your business. If you do, you just open yourself up for a lawsuit personally. The other thing I was going to talk about, I couldn't think about. Alex was talking about the buying the house every year or something like that. Back when I was at the IRS, and it's a lot of years ago, back when I was actually in the field before I was manager down here, there was doctors and dentists used to invest in that rental property real heavy. And the reason then is when they retired, and this is not there anymore, you still got some good things. But back then it was real good because when they sold that property, 50% of it was automatically not taxable. And then they actually increased it to 60/40, and 60% wasn't taxable. So it was a great thing. It's still a good thing. That's not, you can't do that today. You got different laws. But what I'm saying, real estate's always been good.
Yeah. I remember me and Shep, we helped like, remember when I told you about John Thomas?
Yeah.
So we got like audited
Yeah.
like 5 years ago. And then we became good friends with like the auditor. We helped him run for school board, and didn't end up costing anything. But he said like those real estate, it's so hard to audit real estate investments because like you're like, I paid $300 to Herman to clean my house, not clean my house, to fix like to fix a water leak. And they can't say that you didn't do it. You know, you have the receipt here. I did it right there. What are you gonna say? So like, it creates so much paperwork for them, and it's so like that they like it's one of the best ways to kind of like not like win an audit or avoid like an audit. Hey Joe, I wanted to ask you a question. When you were saying it's so much easier to buy a real estate with an S corp, is that just because of like a technicality, because you can sell the loan already as an S corp, or why is that?
No, I mean, for qualifying purposes, it's easier as an individual because you are no longer self-employed. You're really a W-2.
An employee. I got you. Okay. And then remember what I told you guys, that remember I told you guys it's easier for an employee of the owner to get a loan than the owner of the company. One of my best friends owns a private equity group in Atlanta that has like 1,000 employees, and they were giving him a hard time about a loan, kind of, you know? It was all, they kept asking for documentation. And it all has to do, I think, Joe, with that part. All these banks sell their loans and they have to have like check marks on them. Like, well, like what's one check mark? 650, 630 credit score, right? Like the other check mark is not higher debt ratio, not higher than this. Another check mark is this. And if it doesn't have like all those check marks, then they can't like package it well enough to sell it. That's what I think. I don't know if that was a good explanation, Joe, but
Shot.
all right, it was good enough. Where we got, so let's give Mr. Pierce, let me give him like, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you?
Oh, just call.
Okay, like let's give them like your phone number. Does everyone have like something to write down with?
Yes.
I'm gonna call it out if you write it down. I don't know it by heart.
Okay, he's gonna call the phone.
706
It's 706
571
571
9288.
9288. 706 571 9288.
I got a direct line if they want that.
Yeah, give them the direct line, Mr. Pierce.
Okay, here, let me find it. 706
Okay,
221
221.
7093.
So his direct line is 706 221 7093.
That's correct.
So is everybody gonna call him to like is everybody gonna call him to do like Ronnie, you promised me you're gonna call him to set up your S corp?
Yes.
Good. Good. Jerry Williams, you promised me you're gonna call him to set up your S corp? Okay, Jerry, I think Jerry's alive. I don't know who's like the, I don't know who's on the iPad. It just says iPad on the screen. Who's that on the iPad?
Sorry, Alex, this is Jerry.
Yeah, are you gonna go ahead?
I got a mouthful of peanuts here, so I
I
couldn't
got you
answer.
there. We don't.
I
we don't-
do not have an S corp, but I do have LLCs already in place. But this is very intriguing. Yes.
Okay, so please call him to set up like your S corp, and so we're good. I think we're pretty good. If you got Mr. Pierce, I want you to take, this is like a sales meeting. So if you, you can stick around with us for like 10 more minutes here. We're going to like knock out some other stuff. And you're like our honor guest. You're like the king of like England. So queen. So I want you to like honorary. So we're going to go real quickly about like what we have to cover. Joe, what do you, like Joe and Ali, you guys got like 2 minutes each. Go. I'll let Alia go first. Let Alia go first. She looks like so sweet over there.
Thank you. I try.
There you go.
Hi, everybody. So, hi, Carrie. We just talked. I know that you guys get lots of emails and texts and things from me about 210 home warranties, but really I want to talk about our military discount. It's something that they were only doing for a couple months, but now we're going to do indefinitely because we have, I mean, I'm military. We have a huge military community here. So I wanted to go over that. It's a $25 discount off year one, but then you're going to get the discount every year at renewal as well. So if you've got a transaction, either side of the transaction, whether it's the buyer or the seller, whether they're active or retired, they're going to get that discount. So you're not able to do that when you enroll online, but if you call it in or let me know, send it to me, I'll get that enrolled. So it's $25, either side of the transaction, doesn't matter. Active or retired, of course, we're going to do a $25 discount. So if you guys have any questions, let me know, but I would love to let some people have that. We want you definitely to take advantage of it.
Good. Awesome. Like I said, the home warranty helps protect everyone. You guys, when you're representing a buyer, everybody needs to be putting like a home warranty on there and asking for the seller to pay for it. Joe, what do you got good? What do we got good going on with like mortgages?
What's not good? I mean, so purchase applications, 20% over last year. It's insane. I've talked to agents that normally do one transaction a year and they're going, what is going on? Because I normally do one a year and I've got 2 under contract right now and I've got 6 leads I'm actively working. And they're part-time agents. My active agents that normally have 500 or 600 contract are now working with 14 to 15 under contract. So they're doubling their production. It's good. With that being said, also refinance applications up 110%. Insane. So we're dealing with a massive purchase and a massive refi boom. There were more mortgage applications in the last 30 days than there were in the last 2 years combined. Lenders are feeling the pain. All right. We're hurting. There's not enough people in our industry. There's not enough processors. There's not enough underwriters. There's not enough appraisers. There's just not enough people in the industry. We're doing everything we can to fill that gap. But what happens is I steal an underwriter from another company and then they steal an underwriter from me. And it just goes back and forth. And everybody gets paid more. That's the only good thing. But yeah, I mean, there's just not enough qualified, trained, and licensed people out there. So the other good thing is forbearance rates are starting to slow. That's now 3 weeks in a row where we've seen forbearance rates on mortgages start to slow down, which the good news is the more that forbearance starts slowing down, the more we're going to see the guidelines back up. So right now, that percentage of mortgages that were in forbearance that the lender's been stuck making their payment every month, we went from a high of about 10%, it was 9 and some change. Now we're coming down near the 8s. If that rate continues to come down, we're going to start seeing those 580, 520, the below 620, the jumbo program, the bank statements, all those loans that we were doing before, we'll start to see those come back because it's going to loosen the purse strings on lenders. Because right now the reality is there is not enough money in circulation to handle the amount of demand we have. And so the Fed is actually talking about a queue. So if any of y'all been to Disney World lately, they have those virtual queues. The Federal Reserve has actually been talking about a virtual queue for a mortgage because there's not enough money in circulation. So you may have to get in a virtual queue and wait 6 months, 8 months from now in order to refinance because the demand exceeds the amount of money in circulation. unheard of. Who would have ever thought it? It's insane. But yeah, it's busy. So if you call and it takes me a while to get back, just know I'm not ignoring you. I am right here behind this desk. You can ask Alex from like 8 a.m. till last night was midnight. I'm here 7 days a week from like 8 a.m. to midnight, and I can't keep up. I think there was 19 new applications last night between 8 p.m. and midnight, and I probably got another 15 this morning that I've got to go through. So along with getting your loans that are currently in motion clear to close. So it's a lot to deal with, but we'll get through it together.
Herman, can you please tell Joe to like pace himself, because he has 100. Listen, I'm starting to get worried about Joe here, because this is not a joke, because he thinks he was a first sergeant. If you guys don't know anything about Joe, his Humvee got blown up in Iraq. And so, but here's the issue I have, Herman. He has 100 deals closing next month. And every time I call him, he's right there. It doesn't change. He eats there. He probably sleeps there. He does all that. Dude, and you're either going to burn yourself out, or you're going to shoot yourself in the head, or you're going to go in a spree here, man. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
We care for you.
Take time to exhale, Joe.
Oh, don't worry. You just keep breathing in, man. It'll go out somewhere.
Hey, Alex, I got to jump on that too. Joe's done some loans for me. Every time you contact Joe, I'll be right back to you. He'll email. Very responsive. I've been a loan officer before. Never, ever seen a loan officer so responsive. Take that for Joe.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
Jim. Look at Jim, man. Dude,
What I will tell you guys is I am going to take a small break in July. I'll still be available on mobile. I just won't be sitting behind the computer.
July, we can't let you go.
So that's why we got Sam. So
yeah, guys.
He'll be here. I'm a phone call away. I'm just not going to be sitting behind the computer. So, but if something happens and you need help, you have Sam. Want to fix it, he can call me and I'm going to answer. So
yeah, make sure. And like I said, Sam is just as good as, Sam and Joe, Sam is like Joe's sidekick, and he's really, really good. And that's what our company associates with. We only associate ourselves with the best. So Joe is awesome. Mr. Pierce is like the Luke Skywalker of accounting here. And we got Sam, Alia, so we have a good team. All right, guys, let's give away our sign here. We're gonna finish this off here. So we're gonna go. We're gonna let you do this, Mr. Pierce. I'm not even gonna look at it. From 1 to 20, write a number down on this napkin.
All right.
And let's go around real quickly. Now, I want to see your face when you say the number, just because just to be I'm missing some of you guys in there. All right, so Mr. Pierce has seen the number. I don't know what it is. Let's go around the thing. This is for a beautiful Century 21 sign. Hey, I don't know. I think I don't recognize some of these phone numbers here, but we did have a bunch of new agents come in, and not just from Auburn, which if we have anyone from Auburn on this call today, who's Barb's iPhone? Okay.
Kim Brown.
Oh, what's up, Miss Kim? Good. So we got Miss Kim Brown. Okay, good. So, but we have so we got to go. But Alia, Joe, Sam, we probably brought in 8 agents here in the last week. So we got to make sure they get to know all of you guys and that kind of thing. So from 1 to 20, let's go real quickly. Come with a number, Herman, for the sign.
2.
Okay. Yvette.
9.
Okay. Jim. 12.
12.
Okay. Carrie.
15.
Say Jerry. Jerry's. Did you say Jerry?
No, I said Carrie. Dorothy.
Oh, Carrie, sorry.
8.
Okay. Miss Jackie. 3. Okay. Larry Garrett. We can't hear you, Larry.
How about now?
Yeah, go ahead.
10.
Okay, Ronnie Braun.
11.
I don't know who iPad is. Who's iPad?
Kim
Oh,
Brown.
wait, Kim Brown. Are you Kim Brown or are you Barb's iPhone?
I'm Kim Brown, iPad.
Okay, Kim Brown iPad. Okay, what's your number?
18.
Okay, Brad Pugh. Brad. Okay,
1.
1. Okay, Jerry Williams.
16.
Okay, Barb's iPhone. Barb's iPhone. Hey, Jackie Leonard, did you give me a number? Okay, all right, Mr. Pierce, drum roll here. First, the number is
15.
15. I think that was you, Carrie. Good. You get one of those beautiful signs. And now we're going to give a gift card. And the gift card, we're going to, the first one that writes it on the chat bar gets the gift card. Okay? Guys, get your phone out here. All right, I'm going to ask the question, and you have that time to type it in. Here we go. If you are in a multiple offer situation, what amendment are you gonna use to get you gotta write it down. Oh. Yeah. So the first person, look at Joe Donovan, man. Dude, Joe, you can't write that thing down, dude. That's annoying. You can't win this thing. So Joe was the first one.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, Joe was the first one. Kerry was like, he just won, so we can't like have him win again. And so the next person is Ronnie Braun, escalation clause. So you get like a $50 gift certificate.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
That's good. So you guys all have Mr. Pierce's phone number. Give him a call for the S Corp. And it was a great, I got to run right now. It was a great sales meeting, guys. And thank you for everyone that participated.
Thank you.